104.7 The Cave, Mike the Intern in the studio with my friend Jason Braiser for the movie The Flying Greek.
Flying Greek, yes.
And we actually have worked together in the past for the Springfield Cardinals, so we've known each other for a long time. And for a few years, Jason has been working on this documentary. And I remember you talking about this when we worked together, whatever, I guess it would be 3 summers ago before the pandemic kicked in.
Man, yeah.
And so your idea was to make a movie about a pro wrestler, a Greek guy, who then would come back or would basically be a pretty big figure in the area as a jeweler for years and years and years. Yeah. But before he did that, he was in pro wrestling.
Yeah, and it was so interesting, too, because I didn't even know about him until he came on the Mystery Hour, which is, I worked production on Mystery Hour, and he came on there as a guest, and Jeff interviewed him, and I was just like, this guy's in my backyard, and I've never heard of him. And he was talking about Andre the Giant, Macho Man Randy Savage. And I was just like, who is this guy? And then I saw the picture of Andre holding him up on the shoulder. And I recognized the picture. And I was like, oh, my God, that was him. And I finished a project up, and I contacted him. And we had lunch one day, and he just told me so many stories. I was like a kid in a candy store. I grew up loving wrestling, and I still do. I have a lot of respect for it. And I just said, I got to make a documentary on you. And we just kind of started that process. And it took a little longer than I expected it to. But with the pandemic and all and trying to get WWE to get back to me with some footage. But, you know, it all timed out right because I met Medusa, the WWE Hall of Famer, and she narrates the film for us. And she was there for the premiere back in December. And, and then we're going to be screening it at the Moxie this Sunday at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, and if you're at all into pro wrestling, or you were as a kid, or you remember this guy, or even Andre the Giant, I'm sure some of the stories he tells about like the early days when it was nasty
Oh
stuff.
Yeah, he's got some stories.
Yeah, I can't imagine. And he's not a big guy. You know, I mean, he in the context of his size, he is. Yeah. But you put him up against a guy like Andre the Giant, he looks like a 3-year-old kid. But he's not. He's of normal stature for the most part.
The best way I can describe him, he was the Rey Mysterio of his time.
That's a great way to put
it. We were at the WWE show here a few weeks ago, and Rey Mysterio came out and wrestled. I was so excited about that, and he came up and told me, he goes, "That's how I used to do it, man." And I was just like, I know, and I need to find some footage. We got some great pictures, and I also got him in the ring to show me a few things. That's probably my favorite segment of the whole film because he just beats the crap out of me. It was so much fun. And we got creative with our shots and stuff. He could still fit into his wrestling gear.
Oh, that's super cool.
And so it was just, we were able to get some really cool, what I call dream sequence type shots of him. And the film just turned out really great. And I'm really excited to show it again. And I do have to give a quick shout out, though. Carbon Trace Productions. They're the nonprofit documentary company here in Springfield. They actually helped us do post-production on the film.
Nice.
So I'm forever indebted to Shannon and them there. And it was really great because we were able to make it a project for a student to learn because they do a lot of work in conjunction with Missouri State University, where I graduated from. And I've also taught there as well in the past. And so that was really fun to be able to make it a project where a student could learn and get credit for it.
Get a community involvement in it to make it a more just be, because obviously it's your baby, but once you start bringing people in to help raise the baby, it becomes even bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
and bigger.
And that's what made it really great working with Carbon Trace and them there. They were very kind and very helpful in helping us finish the project. And and if you're ever looking for a nonprofit to support, I say support them because they do a lot of great work.
That's really cool stuff. Well, Jason, congratulations again getting this thing done. Obviously, you premiered it in December, but if you didn't get a chance to see it then, this Sunday, the Moxie, you can get your tickets online. You can get your tickets at the Moxie.
Yeah, moxiecinema.com or at the Moxie in person. It's in the showings at 6 o'clock.
Going to be a great time, and I can't wait to see what you come up with next, Jason. Thanks so much for coming in today, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.